Just as a skilled sculptor carves away excess stone to reveal the masterpiece within, your pursuit of external validation seems like a path to love, but often reveals cycles of self-sabotage. Radha, the epitome of conscious devotion, reminds us, true devotion never annihilates your divine essence. Instead, it empowers it. Have you ever stood at the precipice of true connection, only to find yourself inexplicably pulling back, creating distance where intimacy should flourish? Perhaps you've, noticed a recurring pattern, a subtle self-inflicted wound in your relationships, leaving you wondering, why do I sabotage my own happiness? This isn't about blaming yourself, nor is it about finding flaws to fix. It's an invitation to lucidly observe a profound truth rooted in Raja Yoga and Vedic wisdom. Many introspective women like yourself, tired of superficial advice, wrestle with an unsettling question. Why, when happiness seems within reach, does a part of us subtly or overtly undermine it? This silent anguish often stems from the deep-seated fear of true intimacy, of being fully seen, or of repeating past abandonment. It's a patterned response, an emotional addiction to predictability, even if that predictability is pain. The mind, accustomed to its familiar loops, resists the unfamiliar terrain of genuine, unwavering connection, often mistaking passion for true consciousness. The true nature of this sabotage isn't a flaw in your being, but rather a misidentification of your sovereign you, self, with the transient experiences of the non-you, your emotions, thoughts, and the fleeting outcomes of relationships. According to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, our mental fluctuations, or vriddhis, are often the source of our suffering. When these vriddhis are dominated by past karmic imprints, the echoes of previous hurts, disappointments, or unmet desires, they manifest as self-sabotaging behaviors. We cling to what is familiar, even if it's painful, because the unknown, even if it promises peace, feels inherently risky to the conditioned mind. The underlying quest for peace and emotional sovereignty is often attempted through the very relationships that trigger these patterns, creating a cycle of seeking outward validation rather than cultivating internal power. It's time to shift our gaze from the external drama to the profound internal theater where true mastery resides. The invisible error at the heart of much relationship dissatisfaction is identifying your sovereign you, self, with the fluctuating outcomes of your relationships. This deep-seated pattern is not merely a psychological quirk. It is, from a Vedic perspective, a profound misunderstanding of dharma versus attachment to results. A core teaching from the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains that our duty, our dharma, lies in the action itself, not in the fruits it yields. Yet, in modern relationships, we often intertwine our sense of worth, our peace, and our identity with the responses, presence, or approval of another, transforming noble intentions into seeds of self-sabotage. Consider the immense emotional energy expended on analyzing a man's silence, decoding a text message, or replaying conversations. This isn't merely curiosity. It's the mind attempting to control an external reality, mistakenly believing that if it can just understand him, it can secure its happiness. This preoccupation blinds us to the real work, understanding the inner mechanisms that fuel this relentless analysis. The self-sabotage emerges when this identification with the relationship's success or failure becomes so profound that the you, the unshakable luminous core of your being, is eclipsed by the anxieties of the non-you, the ego, the mind, the emotions that are dependent on external stimuli. What part of your Atman does this pain reveal? It reveals the part that yearns to be liberated from conditional happiness, the part that seeks to experience its own inherent completeness independent of any external validation. This is a subtle yet powerful form of attachment, or apego, that masquerades as love or commitment. It's the subconscious fear that if you were truly happy, truly free, truly sovereign, something precious might be lost, or that you might become vulnerable to even deeper pain. This fear is a karmic imprint, a residue from past experiences or even ancestral patterns that drives the mind to create scenarios that feel safe, even if that safety means a familiar cycle of disappointment or withdrawal. The mind, being a creature of habit, often chooses the known discomfort over the unknown potential of profound peace and self-mastery. It's an unconscious choice to maintain the very narrative that keeps you from your highest potential, mistaking suffering for identity. The journey of Raja Yoga illuminates this path of disidentification, guiding us to recognize that the you remains untouched by the fluctuations of the mind or the dynamics of any relationship, allowing for an unwavering sense of peace and true sovereignty to emerge. Understanding the invisible error of identification is the first step. The next is to cultivate the tools for true self-mastery. This brings us to a crucial practice from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Chitta Vritti Nirodha, the stilling of the fluctuations of the mind. This isn't about suppressing thoughts or emotions, but about observing them without becoming them. For women, especially, in the context of relationships, this means transforming anxiety, overthinking, and the compulsive need for control into a powerful internal alchemy. Radha, whose devotion was boundless yet deeply rooted in her own divine consciousness, exemplifies this mastery. She teaches that true devotion and connection arise not from self-annihilation, but from an expanded, sovereign you that chooses love without losing its center. Her example shows us that it's possible to be profoundly engaged and devoted yet remain detached from the outcome, because the essence of the connection lies within. Here's a practical micro-exercise rooted in the Raja Yoga tradition, designed to help you become the observer of the mind, separating the you from the non-you. Find a quiet space for 5 minutes daily. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and bring your awareness to your breath. Allow thoughts to arise without judgment. When you notice a thought related to a relationship, perhaps a worry about silence, a replay of a conversation, or a concern about the future, simply observe it. Don't engage with it. Don't try to change it. And certainly don't condemn yourself for having it. Imagine your thoughts as clouds passing in the sky of your consciousness. You are the vast, unchanging sky. The thought is merely a cloud. Label it internally. An anxiety thought about his response. Or, this is a fear of abandonment thought. Then gently release your engagement with it and bring your awareness back to your breath. This practice is not about achieving a blank mind. It's about shifting your identity. Instead of being the thought, you become the witness to the thought. This subtle shift is monumental. It gradually reclaims your sovereign power from the grip of the mind's vrittis and the external world. As you consistently practice this observer of the mind technique, you will notice a growing space between the trigger and your reaction. This space is where your true you resides, where conscious choice is born, and where self-sabotage begins to dissolve. Just as Radha's love was pure because it transcended personal desire and merged with the divine, your ability to love and connect authentically will deepen when you are rooted in your own internal sovereignty, rather than tossed by the waves of external circumstances or the mind's illusions. The deep-seated fear of intimacy or true happiness, often disguised as not feeling ready or choosing the wrong person, is a potent self-sabotaging mechanism. This fear is not arbitrary. It is the mind's resistance to stepping into its full sovereign power, deeply rooted in past fears of abandonment or the overwhelming intensity of true connection. From the perspective of Raja Yoga, your mind is a vritti machine, constantly generating thoughts and emotional fluctuations that, if left unobserved and unmastered, can subtly or overtly sabotage your pursuit of genuine fulfillment. These subtle sabotages are the ways the mind, conditioned by previous karma and deeply ingrained patterns, protects itself from perceived threats, even if those threats are actually opportunities for profound growth and sovereignty. This resistance often manifests as a compelling urge to create distance, to find flaws where none exist, or to retreat just as a relationship deepens. It's the mind clinging to a familiar, albeit painful, comfort zone, rather than venturing into the unknown territory of sustained peace and authentic connection. The underlying belief often is, if I allow myself to be truly happy, it will inevitably be taken away. A pattern born from past disappointments that the mind projects onto future experiences. This isn't weakness. It's a powerful and automatic defense mechanism. However, as students of Raja Yoga, our aim is to bring conscious will to these automatic processes. We seek to understand the subconscious programming that drives us, rather than being passively driven by it. This internal battle between the you that seeks authentic connection and the non-you, the fearful, conditioned mind, that seeks to maintain its familiar patterns, is where much of our self-sabotage originates. The mind, in its well-intentioned but misguided attempt to protect us, often creates the very experiences we wish to avoid. It might manifest as an unexplained urge to pull away when things are going well, a sudden eruption of insecurity, or a tendency to create drama where there is none. These are the vridis at play, subtle emotional and mental fluctuations that, left unchecked, can derail the most promising relationships. Recognizing your mind as this vridi machine is the first step towards disarming its sabotaging power. It is about understanding that the mind is a powerful instrument, but it is not the master. Your you is the master. And through conscious observation and the cultivation of your will, you can direct this instrument towards true dharma and, lasting happiness, breaking free from these inherited or learned patterns of fear and avoidance. We began by observing a profound paradox. The more we seek external validation for our happiness, the more we subtly undermine our own capacity for it. Just as Radha's devotion blossomed from an unshakable inner spiritual connection, your true sovereignty arises not from manipulating external outcomes, but from mastering your own internal landscape. The journey of self-sabotage is not a condemnation, but a revelation of the mind's intricate patterns and its deep-seated attachments. The invisible error of identifying your true you with the fluctuating successes or failures of relationships keeps you trapped in a cycle of seeking fulfillment where it cannot be found. The wisdom of Raja Yoga and the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita invite you to a different path, to become the discerning observer of your mind, to understand the vrittis that drive your patterns of retreat or ego, over-engagement, the practice of observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, detaching your you from the non-you, is not a passive exercise. It is an act of profound courage and self-mastery. It is the direct path to reclaiming your personal power from the grip of fear, especially the subtle fear of intimacy or genuine happiness, which often disguises itself as rational caution or a feeling of unpreparedness. This journey is about transmuting the pain of repetition and the anxiety of external dependence into an unwavering inner peace. It's about remembering that your completeness, your inherent value, and your capacity for love are not negotiated by another's presence or absence, but are eternal qualities of your sovereign self. Observe how your mind reacts when faced with true closeness or moments of uncertainty. Consider the possibility that the very patterns you wish to break are merely invitations from your highest self to finally turn inward, to claim the sovereignty that has always been yours. True happiness is not something to be acquired from without, but something to be uncovered from within as you gently, yet firmly, bring your will to guide your mind back to its natural state of clarity and peace. Consider the timeless Vedic metaphor of the charioteer. In this profound analogy, your physical body is the chariot, your senses are the horses, the mind is the reins, and the intellect is the charioteer. But the true master, the one guiding the intellect, is your you, your sovereign self. When we self-sabotage, it is as if the reins, the mind, have taken control of the horses, the senses, leading the chariot astray, often off a cliff of repeated disappointments, while the charioteer, intellect, has forgotten its true master, the you. The essence of Raja Yoga is to remind the charioteer of its sacred duty, to be guided by the you, to skillfully manage the mind and senses, steering the chariot towards true dharma and lasting fulfillment. Radha, in her sublime devotion, demonstrates the ultimate freedom that arises when the individual soul, the you, aligns its will not with the fleeting desires of the mind, but with its highest spiritual purpose. Her love for Krishna was not a dependence, but an expression of profound spiritual sovereignty, a complete surrender that paradoxically amplified her unique identity. She never lost herself in the relationship. Instead, her relationship became a path to fully realize her divine essence. Your journey to understand why you self-sabotage is this very process of reclaiming the reins of your mind. It is a powerful act of conscious choice to step into your sovereignty. The challenges in relationships are not random. They are often precisely the experiences your karma presents for you to learn, grow, and ultimately transcend. This awareness is a beacon, illuminating the path from unconscious reaction to conscious creation. It empowers you to break free from the illusion that your happiness lies external to yourself, activating the inner power to choose peace, to manifest authentic connections, and to live from a place of unshakable sovereignty, irrespective of external circumstances. The truth is, your you is a perpetual wellspring of happiness, waiting for you to simply turn inward and drink from its infinite source. If this exploration into the roots of self-sabotage has resonated deeply within your you and sparked a new reflection, consider this an invitation. Understanding these profound principles of Raja Yoga and Vedanta is not a solitary journey. It is a path enriched by shared wisdom and collective growth. Share your experiences in the comments below. What karma patterns have you recognized in your own relationships? How has the concept of your sovereign you begun to shift your perspective on love and happiness? If this video has inspired you to reflect with your true self, please like or share this new reflection. By doing so, you become part of our Sangha, our spiritual community, dedicated to cultivating genuine depth and dharmas in relationships and in life. Together, we can explore the path to unwavering peace and the activation of your ultimate sovereignty.